What does it take to build a homestead from scratch? Well, we are closing out our second year on our California 1-acre homestead, and we are aiming to document our process from raw land to a thriving homestead. Ahead is a look of everything we faced and accomplished during our second year building our homestead. During our first year on the homestead, we spent most of our time building our chicken coop and planting the first 16 trees of our orchard. Once we got a break from the rain in January, we immediately took the opportunity to start the Back to Eden method on our orchard. We first laid out a layer of brown paper on the ground to kill all the weeds, and then covered the paper with compost, followed by wood chips. Our property is very untamed, and here in Zone 9B, the Back to Eden method was preferred because it helps to suppress the weeds as well as help with water retention come summer. Our strategy has always been to focus on planting trees and perennials first. This is because it takes so much time to get a harvest, and we wanted time on our side. Most of our 1-acre homestead is raw land, but tucked away by our house were these 4 beautiful mature citrus trees. We already had plans to double the size of our back orchard, so it was a spur-of-the-moment decision to also double the size of this citrus area, which we now lovingly call our citrus grove. Living in California means we have a long growing season, and our goal is to feed our family fruit from our backyard all year round. Our back orchard will give us fruit from May through November, with our last harvest being pomegranates. The citrus grove will fill our winter gap, giving us fruit from December through March, providing oranges, grapefruit, tangerines, lemons, limes, and mandarins. While the citrus grove is really cool, the most exciting part of the year for me was finally getting most of the trees planted in our primary orchard, which is now home to almost 40 fruit trees. I'm out here in the orchard, and Ryan just finished planting 11 or 12 trees in the ground, which is almost double what we had planted last year. Last year we planted 16. I'm so excited that our backyard is finally starting to transform into like a full orchard. So let me give you the panorama here. So last year we planted these 2 rows here for our 16 trees, and then this year we've planted this row of trees, and then all the way back here we planted this row of trees. So I'm going to walk you through what we planted. I left a space for our Pinkerton avocado. That's where that stake is right there. That is a tropical avocado, so it needs to be a little bit warmer. We will plant that in the ground. Here in the 3rd row as well, we have a pretty mature Italian prune plum. I provide some symmetry to our orchard. I planted a wonderful pomegranate here, and on the other side over there, I have, I believe, a Japanese pomegranate. It's more of like a white flesh or seeded variety. This is more of that red seeded, I think they're called arrows. So we have 2 different varieties there. I have over here an Eva's Pride peach. It's a little stick in the ground there, and then a mid-pride peach here, and then followed by an Alberta peach here. I bought these trees a little more mature because I want to be able to get peaches off of them this year. Our orchard is pretty young, and at this point I'd like to be getting some fruit from them. I know they're still pretty young, but hopefully this year we get a couple off of these trees. And then I still have a Gala apple in a pot. And then in the final row that we planted out, I have more peaches. I have, again, an Alberta peach here, a mid-pride peach here, and an Eva's Pride peach here. And then here I have, I think this is a Lapin's cherry. These cherry trees are self-fertile, which is awesome. And I believe they only need 500 chill hours, which we reach here in zone 9B. So this is perfect for our weather. And then over here I have another cherry tree. This is a Bing cherry. I bought this, but I don't know if we'll ever get fruit on it. And the reason is that the chill hours on this tree is closer to 700 hours, and I don't know if we get that cold. I think it has to be under 48 or 45 degrees for 700 hours. I'm not sure if we actually reach that, but I decided to just try it, and maybe it will acclimate to our area and we'll get cherries from it. If not, this Lapin should provide cherries for us. And then finishing off over here, I have 2 nectarines. They're very, very small. I should have bought them bigger. I don't know why I bought them as such sticks. I think I was just really excited during the winter and I bought them pretty inexpensively. So they're going to take forever to grow, but that's okay. So this is a Snow Queen nectarine and it's a standard. And then over here, I have a Fantasia nectarine, also a standard tree. So that kind of finishes out our 4th row. For the whole first year on our homestead, I hand watered the orchard every day. It was top priority in year 2 to put in irrigation to our orchard so watering could be automatic, especially because I have 4 littles inside that need my constant attention. Needless to say, Ryan did an amazing job making sure each tree got adequate water this year. Come March, we were ready to start tackling some of the failures that we encountered over the winter. For starters, in early January, we lost our entire flock of laying chickens to a predator, which was the worst feeling ever. And to top it all off, our avocados were killed off by a harsh freeze in February. I've heard it said that many homesteaders give up by year 5, and I completely understand why. The losses are usually gut-wrenching, and it often feels like you are fighting with the land to make any progress. As much as I wanted to give up in March, we reinforced the chicken coop and bought new baby chicks, as well as bought 4 new, more mature avocados. We learned a good lesson over the winter, that even in our mild California climate, young trees need to be covered and protected. And eventually, Lord willing, they will acclimate, and I won't have to do any of that in the future. Come spring, we got a really exciting new addition to the property, a fence. Our property is long and skinny and practically had no fencing when we purchased it. Our neighbors generously offered to help us build a fence, which ultimately transformed our homestead into the secret and quiet place we always wanted. But in true Ryan and Christina fashion, on top of building the fence, we had the vision of building into it a grape arbor.
When we originally had the idea to build the Grape Arbor, we knew we wanted to incorporate it into the fence, but we hadn't seen any drawings or anyone do this before, and so we're kind of iterating. The first iteration was building these base posts into the fence posts, and those turned out great, but we were worried that the weight was going to start to bring the whole fence down. So we're starting to iterate by putting support beams coming down and incorporating those support beams into our raised beds.
This here's our center bed. I just finished putting in the gopher cage on the bottom of this 16 by 2 foot Grape Arbor bed. I also put some poly on the back of it that is gonna protect the back of this bed is the footer on the fence. So you can. We also did the same thing over here. So the next step's gonna be to come in and put in some like tree material, some green waste to have a little bit of a hugelkultur bed, and then we'll come in with the dirt.
All of the little details brought this project to life, and now the last thing to do was plant our grapes. So I think that we're able to plant about 15 grapes on this entire 50 feet of beds that we have here. And because we're in California, we actually have a wonderful growing season. And so I got a couple different varieties that are going to span the September, October timeframe. And so the first grape that I decided to get right here in our middle bed is our red grape. So here I have the flame, and so these are ready in that like August, September timeframe. This is pretty standard when it comes to backyard table grapes. And then here I went on Etsy actually, and I looked for a variety that was also red but closer to being harvested in that September, October timeframe. And so this is called a Autumn Royal. I think it's a little bit closer to like a black grape, but even so, it's very sweet and it's ready a little bit later. I want to make sure I'm staggering when I'm planting because I don't want to end up with an overabundance of grapes at any given time. I have our green grapes. Okay, I believe these are the Thompson seedless grapes, and these are green table grapes. And they are also ready to harvest more in the August, September timeframe. So they're kind of right on par with the flame seedless red grapes. And then I'm holding space out here to see if I can find a really sweet, almost like the cotton candy type grape variety. I'd love to find something close to that level of sweetness and plant that here along with our other green grapes. July was such a busy month for us. We decided to invest in 3 mature mango trees here on the homestead. I'm a little worried we won't make it through the California winter, but we do plan to cover and baby them through the winter to give them a shot. We also harvested the most delicious ice cream mangoes in the fall. We are hoping this tree in particular can hang in there till spring. And remember those mature peach trees we planted back in February? Well, they did not disappoint with their abundant fruit. It was so fun to actually harvest from our 2-year-old orchard, and it's so hard to believe each year as the trees mature, we will only be harvesting more. Also, that compost we laid back in January, it turns out it had pumpkin seeds in it. So this harvest was such a fun, unexpected treat. We use these pumpkins for muffins and breads, carving, and chicken feed. Needless to say, everyone around here agreed that we need to plant more volunteer pumpkins around the orchard again. August and September were more about tearing down than building here on the homestead. When we bought our property, besides our house, the only outbuilding that existed was an old, dilapidated barn. We knew upon inspecting it that it wasn't worth saving, and frankly, it was too dangerous to keep up given that we had really small children. But we did save what we could so that we could repurpose some wood for fun projects around the homestead, as well as keep some old history from the people who came before us. We just finished taking down the barn. This project has taken us way longer than I expected, but it's finally down and it looks like a clean slate. We have a little bit more cleaning up to do, but for the most part, it's all done. Surprise! We also planted 2 olive trees over by the Grape Arbor, and in November, harvested the green olives off of them. I think the theme of this year was plant more trees. But in all seriousness, I think our time of planting trees is coming to an end, and in year 3 we can start focusing on other projects. We ended our year with harvesting our pomegranates during Thanksgiving. I was shocked to see that our harvest was at least 3 times bigger than last year. Most of the time, progress feels and is slow, but other times you blink and all of a sudden the trees just look and feel bigger. And what once felt forever away finally starts to feel within reach. To finish out the year, Ryan built our first storage shed, which is connected to the chicken coop. This shed will store all things chicken, like food, hay, cartons, and honestly, probably Ryan's miscellaneous tools for now. Similar to our grape arbor, this shed is built into our fence. We are so blessed to live in a place where our neighbors are pretty cool about most things. All right, you guys, I'm counting this shed as the last project of 2025. And this is the last project of year 2 on the homestead. This is our first outbuilding, and I'm really excited because it's gonna house all of our chicken stuff. Ryan made these doors from the old barn that we took down, and they are like barn doors, so they slide open. He still has to put a latch on them so nothing can get inside. And we still have some work to do to make it more presentable on the inside, but for now, he put up these cabinets, which we're going to figure out how to not weather these too badly because this is on the fence. And then this old table that he had. So we have a little bit of storage. The hay can get stored there. All of our roosting boxes where everyone lays. Those are fake eggs. I'm trying to convince those little chickens to lay inside these little roosting boxes. This is where we'll collect. It's a little bit warmer in here. And then I have full access to get into the chicken coop. Hey ladies, from here. So with this little outbuilding concludes our homestead year number 2. We're so excited for year number 3 and all the things that we have planned and that are in store for that year.